Hi, I'm homosexual Bryan Safi.
Hi, I'm feminasty Erin Gibson.
And this is Attitudes.
Gender issues, but not really. That's too soon. No, it is. That's the right time for me to say it.
Yeah. LGBT plus issues.
Pop culture.
And the world according to God. Can you
handle it? There's literally a dump truck. So I'm at the
Don't
office
ever
today.
call me that. That is so rude. You know I don't look my best right now because we woke up a little early. Where's the dump truck? I only see green. Oh, there's the dump truck. Yes, coming to
why is it
you.
here? There's no trash cans here. There's like, let me tell you something. Every time I decide to switch up where I'm recording for crazy schedule stuff, there's literally like sirens, dump truck. There's somebody behind this wall just screaming on the phone. We can't win.
You can't win. You can't win.
Bryan, you're going to tell me a riveting story about a computer.
Well, I found out this week that I am a tech blocker.
Do
you understand? That's true, Erin. You have one pill bottle behind you.
Yeah, in case
you have a giant shelf with only one thing on it, and it's
I have
one
a pill and a
bottle.
notebook, so I can keep notes of what the pills do to me in the notebook.
So what do the pills do to you?
They're progesterone. I don't take them because when I take, I've told the doctors several times, hey, when I take progesterone, I feel like I've been drugged the next day. And they're like, you're not taking it at the right time. So I take it at 6. I take it at 5. None of it works. I'm too sensy. Could I not just take it? And they're like, it's your funeral. So no straight answers. So TBD on whether or not that's going to be sitting here when I leave.
Chic look. I could see that in like the Tate Modern, honestly.
Oh, I love that.
Shelf with just that giant shelf with just that tiny pill bottle. So good.
That's how easy art is.
Okay. So I found out. Hang on one second.
Don't worry. That's just the dump truck.
No. It's not the dump truck. I can't wear this. I hate it.
Why? Because you look like Audrey Hepburn?
There's a t-shirt right here I'm going to change into right now. Just give me 1 second.
Wait, why can't you wear a chic black shirt?
I hate it. I hate it.
This is too strong of an opinion for a black shirt.
I hate it.
What's wrong with it?
Well, it's doing this, this, and it makes me, it's making my face look really red. Or something is.
I don't think it's a black shirt.
It could be. We don't know yet. So
yeah, okay, put the other shirt on.
Literally 30 seconds. Hang on.
Okay. It is his dance. He looks like, I don't remember what movie Audrey Hepburn is where she's wearing that chic ballet outfit, where she's doing like a tap dance in a jazz club, but that's what he looks like right now.
A few moments later.
It's still red.
Yeah, I think it might be the fact that it's literally morning time and you haven't, how long have you been up for?
45 minutes.
Yeah, I think you should just be kind to yourself right now. I'm glad you put on the most assaulting 1990s turquoise shirt. You went from a beautiful, chic black shirt to literally a Joe's Crab Shack uniform.
I know. I thought the Joe's Crab Shack uniform might be a little more flattering, but turns out I didn't think it would be. I thought it would be more flattering. I thought this boxy t-shirt would be more flattering than that, whatever.
Might I suggest if you're a little self-conscious about the color, the undercurrent of your face, that you use a zoom filter.
You want to know something hilarious?
Yes. I love to
this
laugh.
has to do with me being a tech blocker, which I'm about to get into. Do you know that phrase? I didn't.
I've heard of Luddite. Is it adjacent?
Maybe. It's when you're a tech blocker. So it's when okay, how do I do my video different? How do I adjust? How do I make myself look just a little better? I don't know how they do this anymore. Oh my God. Video.
Choose video filter.
Mine doesn't.
And then you can just go like that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Why doesn't mine say that? Hang on. Now I'm going to do this.
Oh shit, I got pride eyes. All the boys think she's a spy. She's got pride eyes.
Okay.
Anyway, this is
Maybe
how you
it's
do it. You just
this.
click on shit.
I know, but for some reason,
That's
maybe
fucking cute.
this.
That's fucking cute.
How do I do this?
And that's fucking cute.
I cannot figure out where this. It used to be touch up my appearance, and now, here it is, touch up my appearance.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's going to be better. Okay, yeah, I like that better.
Okay,
Erin,
great.
I didn't know touch up my appearance would take the red out of my face.
Yeah, it just gives you, it's a basically Vaseline filter on Zoom.
My God, I feel so much better. So this has to do, has to do with me being a tech blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's a Luddite?
A Luddite is someone who shirks all tech.
So that's me.
Okay.
So I was whatever I was doing, picking flowers. I don't remember adjusting things for, daylight savings, whenever that happens. I was doing something.
Yeah, all your busy work. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Occupying my time, doing my paperwork. You understand? Faxing. Anyway. Suddenly, my computer screen starts doing all these crazy horizontal lines. Now, before this, I do have a bathtub tray, I guess I should say, where I have a giant tray that fits over my bathtub, where I do all my, I do a lot of watchings there. I put my laptop in there.
Psychotic that you can't just take a bath and relax. You have to have something you can't just be in the bathtub being like, oh, this is a time for me to think.
No, sometimes I do that, but usually I don't do that. So I was watching, I think, an old Housewives reunion or something. Relaxing.
God, I can't think of a more relaxing bath. Wow. Antithetical to a bath, but go ahead.
So anyway, I was relaxing in my bath watching, I don't know, Sheree and Nene on season 4, getting into it.
Swimming, fighting, yeah.
Right. And so just nearly asleep. And whatever. So I took my computer in there. It didn't splash on it. I didn't think or anything like that. I come back and use it later, and all of a sudden there's all these like blurry lines on my thing. And I was like, what in the fuck is going on? But I could still read it. Approximately, it was actually the day after we recorded our last podcast. All of a sudden the camera's not working. And this is my business. I mean, I have to have the camera. It's our business.
May I ask an interruptive question?
Yeah.
That's not a word.
I liked it.
How old is this laptop?
Not that old. 4 years.
That's pretty old for a laptop, but go ahead.
It is. Oh.
Mm-hmm. They basically become obsolete after 2 years. But yeah.
Well,
that's how the tech industry gets you. This is why people are Luddites.
When I said 4 years, it's actually because I got it in February 2020, so it's 4 years and 11 months.
Yeah, so that's not new.
No, but listen,
these aren't cars.
You're gonna die laughing. I take it in because here's what I expected. I expected to go in and be like, I obviously have to buy a new laptop. Like that's what I was thinking. But I took it in and I said, is this obsolete? Whatever. They go, no, you still have Apple Care. And I go, how is that possible? I got this in 2020. And they go, well, you've been paying for it every month. I had no clue.
Of course, yes. Of course.
I had no clue.
On brand.
So then
how did you have no clue?
I don't know, because I'll tell you how.
Do you look at your bank statements?
I do. But I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how.
Because this is my impression of you opening your mail. Okay. You get an envelope. Mm-hmm. By the way, I don't know who this is for. It was incorrectly sent to the office.
All I know is you've got a pill bottle and an envelope.
Yeah. I got a stamp that says best wishes. So you open it up, you get the mail like this, and you throw it directly in the garbage. There's no step in between.
Excuse me, is Apple sending you paper bills? I'm dying to know.
But don't you get paper bank statements?
Yes.
Okay.
So then, well, and also Apple, just in my defense, by the way, I found out Rick Caruso used to run the LADWP. So I do feel like that's how the era I was getting scammed in.
Oh, your overpayment of your old apartment built the Americana.
I think it did.
He was basically not able to afford the Americana. And then he was like, wait a minute, this man has been paying for everyone's electricity.
This man who has no heat, no AC. This was back in the day. No heat, no AC, 1-bedroom apartment, whose electric bill is somehow $500 a month.
Guess what, guys at the bank? I can do it. I can build the Americana.
I can have the claim to fame of having the tallest Christmas tree in Los Angeles. Listen. So then, after all this, and my defense is Apple, when they bill you, they'll put in like your Peacock bill, your Max bill. It all goes into the same thing. It all goes under Apple. Do you understand? So it's hard to parse.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so anyway.
It'll say Apple, but then it'll say Hulu.
No, I know, but I don't know. So then.
Okay. So when you look at the bill, you do it, but your eyes are closed. Is that what you're saying?
No, I just look at Apple and I go, oh, that's a business expense, because it always is. Do you understand? Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this is the thing I say to a lot of people, my friends in Los Angeles, who didn't work as a bookkeeper for several years before they made it big, like we did doing podcasts. Just because it's a business expense doesn't mean it's not money you're paying.
Of course I know that.
Okay.
So listen, but you're right. Oh, I see what you're saying. So then I should know what I'm paying for.
You should know what you're paying for.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's like, oh, it's Apple, it's a business expense, but it's still money that you're like, even if it's deductible, it's still money.
Well, apparently you can make Apple Care keep going, but you have to pay a certain amount every month. It's like $20 a month, $15. I don't know. So anyway, remember that time I had 2 gym memberships? I didn't even know it.
Of course, I log every single financial mistake you've ever made. And I'll never forget them.
I go to Apple with the computer and they go, oh, we can do this for free because you have Apple Care. And they tested it. They were like, this actually isn't, you didn't drop it. You didn't spill anything on it. This is a display error. So we're going to have to redo this. I go, that's great. I'm driving to the gym after that. And after the gym.
Which gym? 1 or 2?
Well, now I only pay for 1. So just 1.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I'm driving home after. And my car just stops in the middle of the road, like shuts down.
And you do have a car that should be lasting because it's like 2 years old, right?
Not even. Yeah. It's like, you know what it is? It's 1 year and 10 months old.
Mm-hmm. So you can remember the exact dates of all your technology, the birth dates of all your technology, but then you can't parse out what's a Hulu charge and what's a Apple.
I should put that down as a special skill.
Yeah, I do think that's good. Yeah. Certain maths sink right in. If you want me to figure out the tip or the split on a restaurant bill, I'm your man.
Second.
Yeah.
So it's been 1 year and 10 months. My car is not old. So I turn it back on. It shuts down again. Turn it back on. It shuts down again. So then I just drive it to the dealership because it's still under warranty. Okay.
How do you drive it if it's shut down?
Because it will come back on for like 10 minutes and then shut down.
So you're literally driving in 10-minute spurts to the dealership?
Yes, on roads.
Well, I don't know where else you drive them.
No, I know, but like there's just stopping in the middle of the road.
Stressful.
I'm getting honked at like you cannot imagine.
Well, yeah, people here, they do not give you a second of leeway.
Not a second. They give you no grace. So I finally make it to the dealership and they say to me, well, your car computer is shut down completely. And I was like, first of all, I didn't know I had a computer in here. Second of all,
how do you think how do you think the displays and all the things come on?
High tech.
Yeah, but that's a computer. Do you think there's just a little man doing like mechanics in there?
I don't know.
Oh, Bryan Safi's oil level's low.
So
I better put my dipstick in.
So of course, the first thing I said to them after they told me this was, I have Apple Care. I've been paying for it. And they said, well, we don't really take that. But anyway. So here's the thing. Ever since that day, Apple has lost my computer. So they told me, yeah, because they
sent it in for repair and then they lost it.
Right.
And do you have nope.
Yep.
Didn't mean that.
Yep.
Didn't mean that.
A thumbs up bubble just appeared. They lost. Now, oh my God. Erin just did 2 thumbs up and there's fireworks behind her, which being in Los Angeles is incredibly inappropriate.
No, you should have so irresponsible at this moment.
Absolutely no fireworks. So anyway, I found that out. And so they said, your best bet, they go, we think we'll be able to find your computer. There was mail diverted because of a snowstorm, whatever that means. I don't get it.
Why are we carbon footprinting the Apple when there's people who could fix it here in Los Angeles.
Not to mention, aren't there people who could fix it in Cupertino? Like, isn't there someone in California who could fix this shit?
Where the fuck was it going?
It's somewhere where it had got really heavy snowfall.
So the South?
Exactly. Yeah, Louisiana, probably.
They did get snow.
I know. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
Who knows? So
I just mean a place that's like not used to snow. Anyway,
Right.
This is not about climate change. Now it's ruining our
your
days.
best bet is, I go, do you have like a loaner computer? And they said, no, your best bet is to buy a new computer and then return it. And I said, but I need everyone to sign off on the fact that this is what I'm doing and that you are going to accept it back. Da, da, da. So whatever. That's what they said. I got a new computer. I have to return it within 2 weeks. Or if they haven't found that other computer, I have to return this, then buy another computer for another 2 weeks. But if they do find the computer, I'll return this and get my money back. And if they don't find the computer, I won't return this. They'll just let me keep it and they'll pay for the computer.
So, but it has to be lost 2 more computer purchases?
I don't really know for sure. My car, they went to Volkswagen. They had to get the part from Volkswagen Canada and it hasn't cleared customs yet. So, but they at least did.
Don't get me started on getting things back and forth from Canada. Because, I had to drive to Washington to ship my things. To ship my stuff back home from Canada.
You would be shipping from the U.S. to the U.S.,
basically? Yes, but I'm telling you, Border Patrol, they're like, what are you doing with all this shit in the back of your car? And I was like, and I freaked. And I was like, I'm donating it. Yeah. Which I guess people in Canada and Vancouver all the time drive to the States to ship stuff because they have mailboxes in Washington to receive items.
I've heard this actually. That's wild. I've also heard. Well, actually, you want to know something crazy though? When I hiked Mont Blanc 2 years ago and I shipped stuff from Chamonix, France, this tiny town, back to LA, 2 huge boxes of camping gear because I was still traveling a little bit after that. Each box was only $45.
Okay.
How is that possible? If I did that
boxes,
in the US, it would have been hundreds, I'm sure.
For me to ship 3 boxes from Canada to New Mexico, it was $750 fucking dollars. And I was like, you all have to be out of your goddamn mind.
That's insane.
Anyway, so your part from Canada hasn't cleared customs, which is no surprise to me whatsoever.
But they did give me a loaner car. So that's good. So now everything is not back to normal, not even by an inch. But I have my computers back.
Volkswagen has a lot of nerve fucking up like this after that big recall they had.
Don't even start. I
is
know.
Anyone doing anything
and
right?
I'm lucky that everything's under warranty, the computer and the car, but still it's just been ridiculous.
I bought a vintage car. Did you know this?
No.
I bought a vintage car. A 1986 5.
Oh. Well, they don't.
A 1986 Saturn.
Okay.
I bought it's been my dream car since when I moved to Los Angeles, I said to my first husband, I must have a 1986 Saturn because to me, that is what California is. Driving around in a convertible Saturn.
Saturn, yeah. That you converted yourself.
Yes. And when I was looking for these cars, they were a mere $1,000. They couldn't have been less expensive.
Amazing.
These cars, these Saturns.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now they're a little more expensive, but nowhere near a new car.
Right.
They're like $8,000. Okay. Yeah. Very cheap for a car. Anyway, Alessandro Manoli, my husband, found one in New Mexico, mint condition Saturn.
Fabulous.
And driven by a lady who had owned it her whole life. She was a doctor. She loved this car. Okay. I was like, madam, I will love this car as you have, as I am also a Saturn fan. That car has less problems than my Subaru.
Because
it's all mechanics. It's all, there's no electrical and there's no plastics.
Right.
I'm not to sound like a goddamn old man.
No, listen. That's just a fact that things used to be made better. Like, that's why when they talk about, I forget the name, I think they call it a slip stitch or something, but most clothes now are made deliberately with stitching that's looser so that it falls apart. Yeah. So it's not even our fault. Like when you say people are throwing away clothes or donating clothes too quickly or whatever.
It's by design.
But they're designed to not last. They're literally designed to not last. Same with there was those article in the New York Times about like Chanel and Louis Vuitton and stuff that now those bags are just not actually, you're not paying for quality, you're paying for the brand.
Oh, Okay, so I bought Ollie this denim jacket. We were just talking about this morning. Bought him a denim jacket that was handmade by some guy making them at a vintage fair that we went to in Silver Lake.
Okay.
Raw denim. He was hand sewing them himself. I bought him this jacket. Then I also bought him a nice jacket for Christmas from APC.
Sure.
A denim jacket that was handmade. He wears every single fucking day and has not a fucking nothing is loose on it. The APC jacket that he got a month ago has a fucking hole in it.
It's ridiculous.
APC can go fuck right off to
Absolutely.
Pluto.
Yeah.
Because I'm done with them.
And in
They
the
can take their
meantime,
French ass.
when they fuck off to Pluto, you'll be driving around in your Saturn. You understand?
Better believe it.
Yeah.
Hey, I know that we have a lot of there's a lot going on in the US right now. If you didn't know,
It's
besides
actually
your computer
horrifying.
failure.
No, it's horrifying. Yeah.
But I do want to play a song that I cannot believe ever existed.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I cannot believe this was ever a hit. I cannot believe that this was an acceptable song. And this is why you need to have at least one straight man in your life so that they can tell you about their culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
May I share with you a Neil
Armstrong?
Neil Young song?
Of course.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay, so I could not believe this existed. I'm going to share it with you. Bryan, can you see the name of this song?
A man needs a maid.
Yeah. Okay. I think I forgot to share the
What
fucking sound.
the fuck?
Wait till you I can't. This was on an album. This is live at the BBC 1971.
Okay.
See if you can tell me if you can hear this.
Yes, I can.
My life is changing in so many ways. I don't know who to trust anymore.
I do like him.
Get ready to not.
There's a shadow running through my days, like a beggar going from door to door. I was thinking that maybe I'd get a maid.
What?
Find a place nearby for her to stay.
Human trafficking.
Just someone to keep my house clean, fix my meals and go away.
Wow. MAGA Central.
Man needs a maid.
It's a caveman song.
I cannot.
Anyway, I couldn't hear
believe
it. I
this.
can't hear any more of it. But I couldn't. There has been no apology for this song. There has been no reflection on
I
this
don't think someone
song.
like that apologizes for anything.
He also doesn't talk about paying this person. He's basically like, what if I kept her captive in a place near me and then she could be on my beck and call to just do the shit I feel like is beneath me.
What
Like making my own meals and cleaning my toilet.
Disgusting.
What I'm saying is that the Andrew Tates of the world, the ideas that are floating around, they're not new. These are not fucking new ideas. People are just saying them out loud and sometimes not even putting them to beautiful piano chords.
That's the thing, is that song sounded too pretty to be that terrible.
It's shocking.
It is shocking.
It's shocking. What I'm saying is buckle up, Buttercup. But also this shit ain't new.
No.
It's just been lying dormant like in a fucking cave.
It's had the opportunity to be released again. No, this is a horrifying time in this country. I mean, every image, literally from the fires to seeing families ripped apart to all of it. It's just horrific. It's horrific. And I do think that people are really going to fight back in a way that I think people are coming out of their exhaustion and their eyes are becoming opened, but it's a horrifying situation here. And you have to wonder as they separate people, as people are removed from this country who have been here forever, you have to wonder, look in the mirror and really, I would say, especially to a lot of listeners here who might be queer, who might come from, a marginalized group, whatever it is, could I be next? Truly. Like, when will it end? When will it stop? Is this going to be a country of white men by the end of the day?
No,
Is that what the hope
I
is?
won't. We can't let that happen.
No, exactly.
Because they suck.
So we should all start
paying attention to what's happening to
dusting
everybody
ourselves
around.
off a little bit now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think now's probably the time to do that. In the meantime,
and I can't think of a better time to segue right into our Patreon.
We do have some of the best transitions in the game.
We really in the game. Okay. We have, if you're not listening on Patreon, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You missed Bryan's tech.
2 Wigs, a Gun, and a Murder.
Yes. 2 Wigs, a Gun. I mean, this week I have a new thing we're doing.
Yes.
Vault episodes.
We certainly do. Our vault episode this week, Erin, it's when you went to Coachella and you described it as being packed in a sardine can with a bunch of fish on ecstasy.
I don't know which Coachella this was, but they were both bad.
I went to Big Sur and did Pot on a Pier. That's fun.
Wow, we used to really have fun. Remember those days?
Now that was fun. God, remember when I used to like smoke weed?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. This new thing we're doing, episode 16 for the $10 and over tiers. It's a hair heavy episode with Jan Brady visiting a wig shop. Listen, if we can help you get through the next 4 years by giving you action items, pumping you, cheerleading ourselves, and also talking about wigs, then I think we're going to come through the other side.
I do too. We've got a new Brewer shoe. We talk Oscar noms. The Ball. I can't wait to talk about the Baldwins, by the way.
That book.
Disgust. The book. They have a new TV show. Ugh. IKEA meatballs more. And if you don't want to just Jesus.
If you just want to buy the individual episodes,
thank you,
of Dateline and this new thing we're doing, you can just go right on Patreon and buy the video episodes a la carte for $3 each. You can also go on YouTube and get the first act of our video episodes every single week for free. You just search for Attitudes Pods. If you want to see how the sun is absolutely shadowing my face in a way that makes me look like a Muppet.
I love it.
And then, other than that, should we get into some shoes?
Let's do it.
Sacre bleu, what is this? How on earth could I miss such a sweet little succulent crab? Quel dommage, what a loss. Here we go, in this sauce, and from flowers, I think, just a dab. Listen, I love the French.
Be our guest, honey.
Absolutely. I love the French. I just want to pay homage to the French, please. Oh, I love most of the French. I like feminist French culture. I like
a couple French people, maybe.
Yes.
That's as far as I'm going.
Yes. And I think the best homage you can pay the French is through a 90s violent cartoon for children. Have you watched the segment for this?
Beauty and the Beast?
No, this is Little Mermaid.
I don't think so. I think your song was from Beauty and the Beast.
But I thought he was.
Wait, sing it again.
It's Les Poissons, Les Poissons.
Oh, how I love Les Poissons. Oh, that's what you were singing. My bad. Yes. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
yes,
okay. I know all the French songs from all the Disney movies in the 90s sound exactly this guy.
You're right. You're right. That was my bad. I feel terrible.
No, as you should.
Terrible.
By the way, the man who wrote the basically handled the 90s renaissance of Disney.
Yeah, it was Howard Ashman and Alan Menken or something. Yeah.
Yes. I think must have also hated the French because does not paint them in a nice light.
It's true.
Song.
And Lumiere, look at him. I mean, it's a joke, but I like those.
So the European, so this isn't really about France, but it is. It's, you know what it's about? It's about the tenacity of French women and the audacity of French men. Just speak in the binary.
Completely.
Okay. The European
there's the thing in France where men say, you always marry a woman who doesn't take the escalator at the metro.
What the? She exercises her fat ass on the stairs?
Apparently. Anyway.
I'm ready for the entire male population of France to be annihilated. This podcast is turning into toxic femininity, and I'm not going to apologize for it.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay, so the European Court of Human Rights had a judgment last week. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's basically like if the Supreme Court, it's the Supreme Court for Europe, essentially. So like you as a country can rule on things, but then it can get escalated to the European Court of Human Rights, where this court made up of member countries can be like, did you make the right decision? And in this case, they were like, no. And here's the case. There's a woman who's named in the case as Miss HW, which I choose stands for Mrs. Human Woman.
Oh, I love a human woman.
A human woman. So she suffered a misdeed, and that misdeed was a violation under Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights, which says that people have the right for respect and human life. Now, what this means is it's just really about the respect aspect. What happened was that in 2015, she divorced her husband, a French man from Le Chesnay.
Oh, yeah. Sinead O'Connor. Yeah.
Sinead O'Connor, who in the court documents is Mr. JC, which is Mr. Jack Cock, Mr. Joy Killer.
I love Jack and Cock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack and Coke. Yeah. He's Mr. Jack and Coke. Great. That's better. So Mrs. Human Woman wanted the High Court in Versailles to grant her divorce on the grounds of fault, saying that her husband, Mr. Jack and Coke, was a fucking jerk. He prioritized his career over his family, and he was insulting. This is literally, it said that he was insulting in the court doc.
Listen, I have heard grounds that are much less than that, so go do your thing.
But he was like, I'm an asshole? How about you, Mrs. Human Woman?
Uh-oh.
I say it's your fault because you wouldn't have sex with me. So whose fault is it now?
Oh, hers. Obviously.
Obviously.
She wasn't Jack and Cock.
Your Honor, please. My wife was not Jack and Cock.
She was not Jack and Cook. Yeah.
So in 2019, the Versailles court sided on the side of Jack and Coke, saying,
"Stop it."
That she
tortured him.
Serious and repeated breach of marital duties and obligations, making it impossible to continue in a state of matrimony. This is what the court said that she was guilty of. I'm just going to say it again. Repeated breach of marital duties and obligations, which is to infer that when you get married, that regardless of what happens in your marriage, that you are obligated to fuck.
That's awful.
Terrible. So she appealed in France, and then in March 2021, basically the French courts would not rule in her favor. And so she took it to the Human Rights Court. And then last Thursday, this is nearly 10 years from her initial divorce request, a panel of judges said the very existence of such a marital obligation ran counter to sexual freedom. They were like, no, this is not this person's obligation to do this, especially in a marriage that's not working.
I cannot believe this.
What the fuck are you in? It's bananas.
Wow.
They said, in the court's view, consent to marriage could not imply consent to future sexual relations. Such an interpretation would be tantamount to denying that marital rape was reprehensible in nature.
Mm-hmm.
You do not get to fucking buy the cow and get the milk for free or whatever the phrase is.
No.
It is a two-way street. You want to be married to someone? Well, you guys need to love each other and respect each other, and like that should be the deal. You as a man are not owed things.
No, if you want to have sex, you have to be sexy. You have to do things that will attract the other person to you.
They don't do this.
Right.
These men do not do this.
No.
These are flip-flop bros. You know what I mean? Oh, why was nobody fucking me? I don't know. Why didn't you clean your toenails?
Oh,
I don't know. Why didn't you read a book?
Right.
Okay.
Why don't you, do my hair?
Sir, a mere peacock understands the sexual nature of desire and the game of attraction. You know, absolutely. A peacock. You can't even do what a peacock does, sir.
Right.
The woman in the case, Mrs. Human Woman, said that this was for all women like me find themselves confronted with an abhorrent and unjust legal decisions, calling into question their bodily integrity and their right to privacy. This is a win. Thank goodness, because here's the thing. All 46 member states, now this is their
law
This is the precedent.
That's great.
Okay.
In
So
all
they
of the
can
EU now.
instantly go, okay, now you guys were following this rule because because France couldn't do the right thing. Now we're all going to follow this rule. Thank you so much.
Good.
Okay. Vive la France. But
Big
just
time.
the people doing the good stuff, not the people doing the bad stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Speaking of France, it's no longer Target.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
May
Oh,
we-
yeah.
It
Cowards.
is no longer Target, honey. You put that hard G back in the game. The cowards who are Target, excuse me, let me retake that. The cowards who are Target are getting what's coming to them, I hope. Target is one of the most recent gigantic corporations to roll back its DEI programs, diversity, equity.
Couldn't they have just said nothing?
No.
Couldn't they have just been like, we're quietly doing our programs instead of making a fucking press announcement saying we're absolutely rolling them back?
Well, it was a memo to their employees. That's what happened. Because part of what they're doing, besides joining gigantic corporations like Amazon, Boeing, John Deere, Jack Daniels, Walmart, Meta, and McDonald's, who have already rolled back DEI inclusion programs, or DEI programs, I guess I should say, they're going to end their 3-year DEI goals. Honey, the last I heard, if you have a goal, you're supposed to finish it. You're supposed to get all the way there. Okay? Yeah. Don't bring out some bullshit Jim in January resolution if you're a corporation. Stick to it. Okay? They said, among other things in the memo to their employees, like many of these corporations do, that they're going to stop sending reports to external groups like the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index so that they're not held accountable, which again, I never really knew. I mean, it makes sense that the Human Rights Council would need this, or Corporate Equality Index would need this information to write their report about who is doing good things when it comes to inclusion. But I also just feel like, shouldn't there just be a fucking watchdog organization that just goes in, Carmen Sandiego style with just totally covert with a gigantic red hat, a gigantic red trench. Why? Balloons just cascaded above Erin's head.
Because of this.
Because of this horrible thing. Zoom, I want to know what your DEI is.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely here for chaos. I will say this is a radical thought. What if you didn't need a watchdog group because companies did the right thing in the beginning?
Oh, it's just
when if that happened? When if that was a thing? I guess I just shop at Costco now.
Not only is someone like Robbie Starbuck, who the Skrillex of the right, who is out to totally, I don't even know what, to be honest with you. Out to make a name for himself, which he couldn't do as a music video director.
Yeah.
Honestly, just trying to be famous for any reason, who is one of the major influencers on getting DEI programs rolled back. But also, like, I don't know. I don't really understand the end game of these things, except that we have seen since the affirmative action reversal in the Supreme Court, people rolling things back like this, as if they are taking off their skims, their Spanx, and breathing a sigh of relief and saying, thank God I don't have to do that anymore. I could just be a dick. So not only are they stopping sending these reports to the HRC, they're also, Target specifically, is ending their program that focused on carrying more products from Black or minority-owned businesses. They sent this in a letter to their employees. So essentially, they just said it. They just out loud, and in some place, props for just not even trying to sugarcoat the fact that you are literally saying, and by the way, we don't really care about buying from Black-owned businesses anymore. It's just not an important thing to us anymore. Great, glad you told us. So now we're done. I'm glad you told us. The problem is, Erin, and this is what sucks, is like, for so many people in the United States, like, where do you go? Like, where do you go? Walmart, Amazon, Target, McDonald's? I know I'm going to get there, Sergio. So just chill.
It's called a segue, Sergio. You pose the question and then you answer it.
No, but I appreciate you doing that. Okay, look.
Sergio can't wait for you to get to the good part.
Here, he's so excited. And I just want to say to Target, like, we thought we knew you, but who are you, girl? Girl. Target is that person that you never saw coming who they were voting for. Like, if you go get, I don't know, a massage or a facial and you've always talked to this person, blah, 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 and you know they voted for Hillary, you know they voted for Biden, and this year they were like, honestly, fuck it, this is too much work to be good.
It was Jewel at the inauguration.
Totally.
Yeah.
And by the way, sometimes it is a lot of work to be good. But that's what separates humans.
But you know what?
And
actually,
being evolved
Bryan,
from being a barbarian.
It's not hard to be good.
It can be. I'm not saying
it's hard to be good if you feel the pressures of bad people being like, why aren't you being bad with us?
But I think sometimes people's instincts are to be toddlers and to be selfish. And you know, which a toddler has an excuse, obviously. They don't have logic formed or
toddlers
really
have
empathy.
no excuses.
They have no excuses. But being good is the cost you have to pay to live in a society that doesn't exclusively belong to you, or being kind at least. It is, I think, in my opinion, it is so lazy to be mean.
Yeah.
It's actually the least evolved thing you can do as a human being. Not being mean is what separates us from sharks, you dumb idiots. But here's the good news. Sergio's so excited now because I'm transitioning to this. A day before this decision from Target, Hard G, our sexy, beloved Costco shareholders, which, by the way, I talked about how the board of directors at Costco was going to tell the shareholders, look, it's actually bad for business for us to roll back any DEI programs. They're what keep the company strong, and they're frankly part of the brand.
Look at Carrie Underwood's record sales.
What happened?
I think they tanked. Who, right? Wasn't she performing at the...
She performed at the inauguration, yeah. And I know after Kim Kardashian posted that photo of her with Melania, she lost like 500,000 followers or something. And she's another one, by the way.
Who, Kardashian?
Yeah, who just have given in. Who actually, for a minute, was trying to stand for something good. So a day before this, our sexy, beloved Costco shareholders on Thursday, which, as I mentioned before, the board of directors was trying to tell the shareholders there's absolutely no point in trying to roll these things back and to cave into pressure. It's good for the business. Costco shareholders voted 98% to keep all DEI initiatives, which was obviously a gigantic win. Voters representing 98% of shares in the company agreed with the board of directors' recommendations against rolling back any DEI initiatives, which was very exciting. This was right after Donald Trump, and on his first day in office, signed an executive order that would end all federal DEI programs and also ordered U.S. agencies to, quote, combat illegal private sector DEI actions. So this was truly in the face of the president saying this, that the shareholders of Costco did this. Now, listen.
What do these men have to lose? They already have so much.
There's not enough in the world. When you get to that level, there really is.
But they'll never. It's like this because their holes are too deep. You know what I mean?
Like their buttholes?
Yeah, they'll never be filled. Their buttholes are so loose they cannot feel anything. Okay. And they never will.
Yeah.
And there's no turning back because there's no back. You can't. No backsies.
There are obviously some major corporations who are keeping their DEI programs, and proudly. Two of the biggest ones, and I'll rattle off some others in a minute, but two of the biggest ones are Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase. So that's great. They've recently spoken out of their support of diversity programs, that they are anti rolling back the DEI programs, which
we're pro pipeline and anti DEI.
Is absolutely wonderful. So great job for standing up with your billions of dollars in the face of adversity and pressure JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs. It's weird to be giving companies like that props, to be honest with you. But they're being real aggressive about it, saying to Donald, saying, hey, if you want to pressure us to back down from this, because I guess Ken Paxton and 9 other Republican-controlled states sent a letter to JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and other big Wall Street firms asking them to respond to questions about their DEI programs, which I got to be honest with you, that's what you're doing.
It feels like
as the
McCarthyism.
Attorney General of Texas. You're worried about what firms on Wall Street are doing. That's what you're doing with your time representing your state. You're sending them questionnaires about their DEI
Why don't you work on your
initiatives?
maternal mortality rate, bro?
Why don't you help the people in your own state? What the fuck do you care about what Wall Street's doing? And what those
They're just swinging their
giant
dicks
financial
around.
firms are doing. Totally. But the other dicks on the side of big money who are standing up against these DEI things are saying, hey, bring on your questions. We're not budging. We're going to continue reaching out to communities that are underserved.
Also, what's
because
the
it's good
threat?
for the
We're the
brand.
biggest bank in America. Are you going to come for us?
Exactly.
No.
But other ones that are not rolling back include Kroger, which we love. We love some groceries. Wegmans, which we love. We love groceries. TJ Maxx, Nordstrom, Old Navy, Ben & Jerry's, Ulta. Now, I want
Old Navy would be the Gap then, and all the Athleta and all the other Banana Republic, all the other.
All that
Yeah.
stuff. Dollar Tree, Walgreens. So there are places who are not doing that, and certainly we should shout them out. And I got to say, I like TJ Maxx better than Target in any case. Target is not what it was.
Oh, cut to me going to Kroger for all my and Costco for all my shit.
Absolutely. And I've already said, if anyone was affected by the fires, happy to take you on a call. No one takes me up on anything. Nobody. But anyway. Erin, if you ever want to go, just let me know. I'll take you.
You think I won't go to Bryan Safi? If you think I will not this weekend, no, nay, my friend. This week, in the evening, go with you to Costco. You're so mistaken. I will party with you at Costco in the evening.
That would be fun.
I'll go.
I am shooting this week. So I don't know what time I'll get out, but if I get out early, I could text you. Or
Let me
just
know.
Make a date when I'm not shooting.
Let me know.
Okay. The last thing I want to say is, now normally I would just shrug this stuff off, and you know what? I will a little bit anyway. But a gay man who participated in January 6th insurrection, who was granted a pardon along with 15 other people last week by President Trump, has denied his pardon, which is apparently a thing you can do.
And by the way, there's 2 women who've done it too.
Really?
Yeah. So congratulations on doubling down on being a dick.
No, I mean, basically saying, though, in denying the pardon, saying, I did something terrible. I don't want you to pardon me. This was a huge mistake, and I regret it.
I do think it's hilarious that it's a gay man and 2 women who are like, no, we deserve this punishment.
Oh my God. I've been watching Traitors on Peacock, obviously in the bathtub. And anytime someone has to volunteer, like basically some people get, quote, murdered in the house every night or whatever, or could be up for murder. And sometimes in the games, the challenges they have, people have to volunteer to be put up for murder to save the team. Not one straight man has ever done it. It's only the women and the gay men on the show who do it. That's it.
The joke of women and children first is literally a joke because in most disasters, that's whose bodies are on the bottom of the pile.
Right.
And that's who we want running things?
Yeah.
The biggest cowards. No.
But Jason Riddle, who was a Navy veteran, who was at January 6th, who participated in it, who was denying his pardon, who was saying, I did something unpardonable. It was a huge mistake. And also said, I'm a recovering alcoholic. At the time, I was not recovering. And really went on. And this is what I appreciate about this specific thing, is that it's actually a full-blown confession and apology. It's not really a denial. It said I would combine alcohol with my politics. I'd put it online too. Spent a lot of time on social media in the comment section arguing with strangers about nothing. And it became my identity. The less I had a life, the louder I was about being a Trump supporter.
Ooh.
He then said, when I went to prison, after all these people were arrested for insurrection and, a full betrayal of this
Treason.
country.
Yeah.
Treason.
Mhm.
He said when he went to prison, he was treated like a celebrity by the guards. And they would even tell him, "Let's go, Brandon." That like anti-Biden slogan. Is that shocking or not?
Yeah, I
can't
guess.
tell, actually.
I don't know.
I can't tell. Anyway, it was nice to see. Oh, and by the way, this is my favorite
That's what I
part.
say.
This gay guy, Jason Riddle, who he was at the gym with his husband when he found out he had been pardoned, which is so perfect. I love that. I love that. I love the two of them were just doing some squats. You understand? Socializing, maybe grabbing a smoothie when they found out they'd been pardoned. And he also said something interesting, which was honestly, I would rather have this on my record than have a Trump pardon on my record, because that might be more glaring, as like, oh, Trump pardoned you for something. Well, then we know for sure you were a criminal. Look how he pardoned that Silk Road guy who had that online black market thing where basically people could just buy drugs online and people died from it. Full pardon. Shocking. Anyway, nothing in my shoe today really, at the end of the day, meshed. But
you know
I did
what,
talk about
Bryan? What a
several
community
things.
service you've done by telling us all where we can shop and feel like the companies that are taking our money are doing a couple of things right.
That's right. So if you can't shop at Target, you can shop at Ben & Jerry's.
Get your detergent at Ben & Jerry's from this point on, please.
Exactly. And please support JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs. They need
They
you.
need your money. We got some Spotify reviews.
Oh, please
Needless-
review us on Spotify.
Oh,
Please
yeah.
review us on Apple Podcasts. Do
It
all
helps
of
so
that.
much
It certainly
because, as
does.
you know, robots run everything.
They do. They do.
Needless Wanter says, "I love you guys." Simple, straight
Hey.
to the point.
Listen, thank you, Needless Wanter.
Chrissy Powell AU says, "Hot
Australia.
dog on a stick." I wasn't lucky enough to have a quote unquote childhood mall like Bougie Bryan, 2 hours
Was it-
north of Dallas in the 90s. But we had one, and I still think about those cheese on a sticks decade later. Now, they're saying the hot dog on a stick is the same as cheese on a stick, and that sounds like a distinctly
Well, no,
Australian
hot dog
thing.
on a stick sold cheese on a stick.
Oh,
Like part of the thing was you could get a hot dog on a stick or you could get cheese on a stick.
I
And
see.
I would get cheese on a stick, and it was the most delicious thing. In fact, the next time I'm in El Paso, I just need to clear out 2 days to have a cheese on a stick. 1 day to eat it, and the next day to suffer.
Process it. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Now, we got a lot of panties reviews.
Oh, we
on
did.
Apple.
And a lot of questions about Kohl's. I do want to say I got some DMs about Kohl's. I don't know that much about them. I know I talked about them.
And we don't know what their DEI program is.
We don't, but I'm not a customer service for Kohl's. So I would say for any deeper dives, you should probably go to the Kohl's website or ask someone who might work there.
What's the APR on their credit card? Do they do layaway? Like, yeah. Do they
No.
do Apple Cash? Yeah.
I was getting all kinds of questions. So it's Davey on App. This is from Apple Podcast. Said, yes, 5 stars. I get all my panties from Kohl's. Love Jackadon. Audrey Janae
Is that
says,
spelled correctly?
it is Jaquidon. Aubrey, Janae says, my son needs new panties, 5 stars. I'm listening to the newest episode about the LA fires and crying laughing from Bryan talking about buying new panties and Dillard's with his mom to asking if, quote, to Luigi means to fix the plumbing. The ability to turn tragedy into comedy and improv off each other is unmatched, and I feel so lucky to have this podcast. Thanks, C&B. And Crayon Shaver says, can't forget my culottes, 5 stars. The Italian actress reciting poetry at the Hermes store was giving Starbra improv greeting cards. I don't remember this. In Barb and Star.
In Barb and Star.
Love
Yes.
Barb and Star. Well, thanks everyone for listening this week. And
again, if you go right on that Patreon, you're going to get so much more.
this
Plus
new thing
back
we're doing.
catalog.
Talk about
Do
the
you wanna-
Baldwins.
Do you want to hear a time when Obama was president? Then that's for you.
Talking about Jan Brady going into a wig store. By the way, maybe I'll play it next week, or maybe people can just go find it themselves. But Stacey Vaughn sent me a pagan poet himself, Keith Morrison, did like a 10-minute pagan poetry tribute with gorgeous imagery to Los Angeles. And it was beautiful. It was just like, this city, why does it exist? It's such a mess. It makes no sense. Tragedy everywhere. And yet we stay. And yet we thrive.
What
And
the
yet
fuck?
It's so gorgeous, Erin.
Did people know they
It's
don't have to
basically
start off
talking
with a
about the
negative to go to a
strength.
positive?
It's talking about the strength of the city.
Well, then just do that. We don't need all the negative shit. Bryan doesn't watch my story posts.
Oh, so you
The
story
Tude's
that.
IG. I guess.
No, I do. I guess I missed that one. Wow. Okay. Well, fuck me. And
Fuck my track, right?
you. How about that?
Listen, everyone, we're here for you. We will see you every single week.
But we're
I don't
not here
know.
for you if it's about Cole's questions. I've been in.
No, please, we can't. It's like
Yeah.
I don't
know enough
even,
about the story.
I don't even
went
go in
one
my
time,
DMs.
maybe. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
ooh, look at the sparkle here. Anyway, I just want to say one more thing before we go.
Yeah. Didn't work. Oh my God. Erin did 2 enthusiastic
No,
thumbs
I
up and it did
mastered it.
fireworks again.
I've mastered it. You have to turn it on. I don't know how to turn it off.
I
That's
don't
a
need-
problem.
There we go. All right. You're
I
explosive.
love you.
I love you too.